Chapter 13. Accidents. On beam ends, losing a rudder, a squall, a man overboard, collision, rules for vessels passing one another. On beam ends. A vessel is usually thrown upon her beam ends by a sudden squall taking her, when under a press of sail and shifting the ballast. She must be righted, if possible, without cutting away the masts. For, besides sacrificing them, the object can seldom be accomplished in that way, if the ballast and cargo have shifted. Carry a hawser from the lee quarter, with spars and other good stop-waters bent to it. As the ship drifts well to leeward, the hawser will bring her stern to the wind, but it may not cast her on the other side. If a spring can be got upon the hawser from the lee bow, and hauled upon, and the stern fast let go, this will bring the wind to act upon the flat part of the deck and pay her stern off, and assist the spring when the sails may be trimmed to help her in righting. If she can be brought head to the wind, and the sails be taken aback, she may cast on the other tack. When there is anchoring ground, the practice is to let go the lee anchor, which may take the sails aback and cast her. Then the ballast and cargo may be righted. If there is no anchoring ground, a vessel may still be kept head to the wind by paying a chain cable out of the lee hawsehole, or by bending a hawser to a large spar, which may be kept broadside to by a span, to the center of which the hawser is bent. The same operation may be applied to a vessel overset, and is preferable to wearing by a hawser. Make fast the hawser forward to the lee bow, carry the other end aft to windward, and bend it to the spar, and launch the spar overboard. By this means, or by letting go an anchor, though there be no bottom to be reached, a vessel may often be recovered. Losing a rudder. The first thing to be done on losing a rudder is to bring the ship to the wind by bracing up the after yards. Meet her with the head yards as she comes to. Take in sail forward and aft, and keep her hove to by her sails. A vessel may be made to steer herself for a long time, by carefully trimming the yards and slacking up the jib sheets or the spanker sheet a little, as may be required. Having got the ship by the wind, get up a hawser, middle it, and take a slack clove hitch at the center. Get up a cable, reeve its end through this hitch, and pay the cable out over the taffrail. Having paid out about 50 fathoms, jam the hitch and rack it well, so that it cannot slip. Pay out on the cable until the hitch takes the water. Then lash the cable to the center of the taffrail. Lash a spare spar under it across the stern, with a block well secured at each end, through which reeve the ends of the hawser, one on each quarter, and reeve them again through blocks at the sides, abreast of the wheel. By this, a ship may be steered until a temporary rudder can be constructed. A rudder may be fitted by taking a spare topmast or other large spar and cutting it flat in the form of a sternpost. Bore holes at proper in that part which is to be the forepart of the preventer or additional sternpost. Then take the thickest plank on board and make it as near as possible into the form of a rudder. Bore holes at proper distances in the forepart of it and in the after part of the preventer sternpost, to correspond with each other, and reeve rope grommets through those holes in the rudder and after part of the sternpost, for the rudder to play upon. Through the preventer sternpost, reeve guys, and at the forepart of them fix tackles, and then put the machine overboard. When it is in a proper position, or in a line with the ship's sternpost, lash the upper part of the preventer post to the upper part of the ship's sternpost. Then hook tackles at or near the main chain, and bows taut on the guys to confine it to the lower part of the preventer sternpost. Having holes bored through the preventer and proper sternpost, run an iron bolt through both, taking care not to touch the rudder, which will prevent the false sternpost from rising or falling. By the guys on the after part of the rudder and tackles affixed to them, the ship may be steered, taking care to bows taut the tackles on the preventer sternpost, to keep it close to the proper sternpost. A squall. If you see a squall approaching, take in the light sails, stand by to clew down, and keep her off a little, if necessary. If you are taken by one, unprepared, with all sails set and close hauled, put the helm hard up, let go the spanker sheet and outhaul, and the main sheet. Clew up royals and topgallant sails, haul down flying jib, haul up the mainsail, and clew down the mizzen topsail. When you are before the wind, clew down the topsail yards, and haul out the reef tackles. You may run before the squall until it moderates, or furl the light sails, bring by the wind, and reef. A man overboard. See Taughton's Naval Textbook. Letter 20. The moment the cry is heard, put the helm down and bring her up into the wind, whether she is on the wind or free, and deaden her headway. Throw overboard instantly life buoys, or, if there are none at hand, take a grating, the carpenter's bench, or any pieces of plank or loose spars there may be about decks, and let 2 or 3 hands clear away a quarter-boat. The best plan is, if the vessel was on the wind, to haul the mainsail up and brace aback the after-yards and raise the head-sheets. Then, having her main yards aback, she will drift down directly toward the man. Keep your head sails full to steady her, while the after ones stop her headway. If you are sailing free, with studding sails set, clew up the lower studding sail, brace up the head yards, haul forward the fore tack, and keep the head yards full, while you luff up to back the after ones. Lower away the boat as soon as it is safe, and as the vessel will have turned her nearly round, direct the boat with reference to her position when the accident happened and her progress since. Collision. If 2 vessels approach one another, both having a free wind, each keeps to the right. That is, the one with her starboard tacks aboard keeps on or luffs, and the other, if it is necessary to alter her course, keeps off. So if 2 vessels approach one another close-hauled on different tacks, and it is doubtful which is to windward, the vessel on the starboard tack keeps on her course, and the other gives way and keeps off. That is, each goes to the right, and the vessel with her starboard tacks aboard has the preference. The only exception to this is that if the vessel on the larboard tack is so much to windward that in case both persist, the vessel on the starboard tack will strike her to leeward and abaft the beam, then the vessel on the starboard tack must give way, as she can do it more easily than the other. Another rule is that if one vessel is going dead before the wind and the other going free on the starboard tack, the latter must luff and go under the stern of the former.